Hi, Bobcats. I really wish that the course syllabus was something that was just a page or two and it had all of the real pertinent information about how the course is structured and how you're graded. But unfortunately, there are so many things that are required to be placed in the syllabus that it's grown to this about 10-page document. It's really hard to get through all of that. So what I'm going to focus on in this next lecture segment is how you will be graded in this course. So hopefully this will clear up any questions that you have along those lines. Our objective for this segment is to describe how you will be graded. Here are all the pieces that are going to contribute to your grade. Each one of the exams, the midterms, 1, 2, and 3, as well as the final exam, will contribute 15% to your overall course grade. So exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, and the final are all weighted equally at 15%. The in-class activities are also weighted equivalently to an exam. That'll be the average of all the in-class activities that we do. Your homework average is 10%, your quiz average will be 10%, and the participation problem sets will be 5%. The exams are 15% of your course grade. They will be done on the blue days on the course calendar that you'll find under the resources module. We will be using the Examity proctoring service with an emergency Zoom session available when the Examity window closes, just in case some disaster strikes while you're using Examity. Also, while I do not drop an exam grade, the final exam grade can replace one midterm exam grade if the final exam score is higher. Sometimes when I say that, students misunderstand what I'm saying there. The final exam still is required. The final exam by itself is 15% of your course grade. If it replaces a midterm, then the final exam score counts for itself and for that midterm, which means that it would be weighted at 30% of your course grade. But the final exam is not optional. The final exam is required. And the final exam, or all of the exams, fall under the category of summative assessment. And we will talk about formative versus summative assessment later on in this video series. In-class activities account for 15% of your course grade, so that's the same weight factor as any one exam. The lowest score on your in-class activities will be dropped. These in-class activities will start with Chapter 4, so before our first exam we won't have any, but we'll have them on the material for Exam 2 and Exam 3. The in-class activities are problem sets that we will work on during our synchronous class meetings. So it's an opportunity for you to work with other students and to work with me as you're completing these problem sets. Typically with these problem sets, I'm going to ask you all to work on them for a while in your groups, or if you prefer by yourself, and then after you've been working on them like 15 minutes, I'll make the key available, and the instructions are you're to work the problems yourself first and then use the key and grade yourself and make corrections. So by the end, what I'll expect you to turn in is in two colors. One color is all of your original work, and then the second color is all of your corrections. If you turn in a paper that has been completely corrected so that in the end all of your answers are correct, you get 100. If you turn in anything less than that, you get a 0. So it's really easy here. You get 100 or you get a 0. This is an example of what we call formative assessment. Homework accounts for 10% of your course grade. The lowest score will be dropped when we do your homework average. Sapling Learning is our homework platform, and it is accessed through Canvas, so you'll just click in Canvas to get over there. The homeworks are due on the dates that are that coral color on our class calendar. It typically will be Sundays at 11:55 when those are due. Just a little heads up, if you already have an account with Sapling Learning, before you link to Sapling Learning through Canvas, or before you connect to Sapling Learning through Canvas, you need to use the same browser that you're using for Canvas, open up a different tab, and open up Sapling Learning the normal way by going to saplinglearning.com and logging in with your username and password. Then, once you are in Canvas and you click on one of the links to Sapling Learning will connect your old account with your current account through Canvas. This will be really important if you have any credit with Sapling Learning. And we've got to get those two accounts linked, or you won't be able to access that credit for Sapling Learning through Canvas. If for some reason you forget to do this or it doesn't happen, you can always go through customer support in order to make this happen. But it's just easiest if you can connect right at the very beginning. And homework is another example of formative assessment. As you work through our modules, you'll be running into participation problem sets. The participation problem sets will be worth 5% of your course grade, and at the end of the semester, I'll curve those participation problems by 1 week's worth of data. This is one of the things that the Canvas gradebook won't let me do, so it's something that I have to do outside of Canvas with an Excel spreadsheet. Basically, these are going to follow each of the recorded lectures in a chapter module on Canvas. So you'll watch a video or two, and then you'll do one of these participation problem sets, and it will cover what you just watched. So there will be multiples of these participation problem sets per chapter, anywhere from like 3 to 5 or 7, just depending on how long and involved the chapter is. Like chapter 4 and chapter 5 are long and involved. They have a lot of participation problem sets, and we take several weeks to do those chapters. You do the participation problem sets through Canvas. They're unproctored. You get 3 attempts, and your highest score is the one that's used. What I would strongly recommend is you watch the videos, then you try the participation problem set, and look at what you missed. If you missed something, go back and review that from the PowerPoint notes, and if you need to, rewatch part of the video, and then try again. You get 3 tries. I would say that after the second try, if you haven't scored a 100, that you get outside help. Like ask me during one of our synchronous class meetings, or come to office hours, or shoot me an email. So in theory, everybody should end up with 100s on these participation problem sets because you get 3 attempts at them. And these participation problem sets are also formative assessment. Our last grading category is quizzes, and quizzes will account for 10% of your course grade. We're going to do 1 quiz per chapter, and it'll come at the end of the module for each chapter. It will cover the entire chapter. You'll take it through Canvas like the participation problem sets, and they'll be unproctored. This time, however, you only get 2 attempts. So again, after your first attempt, review anything that you missed before you take it again. And if you really can't figure out what's going on with a question, come to office hours. Ask me in the synchronous class meeting, send me an email. So ideally your quiz average should be pretty high. And quizzes are another example of formative assessment in the class. So really the only summative assessment we have will be the exams. All of the other things that we are doing are formative assessment. Our objective for this video was to describe how you'll be graded in this class. So hopefully you have a pretty solid understanding of the grading scheme and the different categories of grading at this point.